Morning guys, March 31st, 2021. This one here I got a call from daycare. I guess this building's got two water tanks. And one of the water tanks in the back of the building doesn't seem to be heating up. Electric water heaters. I have worked on the one in the front of the building before. I have fixed that, put new elements in it and whatnot. But just got a call from the lady. I'm going to take a run over there and see if I can figure out what's going on with it. Most likely it's the elements that burn up. Sometimes it's the controls. They go off on reset. We'll figure it out when we get there. Probably have to drain it down, run out and get a couple of elements. I might have them. I might have one or two in the truck, but I'm not sure about that. Might have to dig deep in the drawer there. Let's see what's going on with it first. They're probably like 40 gallon, 50 gallon water heaters, electric water heaters. One in the front of the building, one in the back. Be down in the basement, so I'm not going to be around a lot of people. So I'm going there during working hours. This is a new tank. Didn't even do anything. It's 1 inch. This is the one that's a problem. We got power coming in. So let's open up these doors and see what's going on with it. It's kind of a different one. This is a Rudd. Achiever Plus Professional. Holy shit, wow. I don't even see an on-off switch for this thing. Must be a breaker somewhere. Breaker 19. Breaker 19. Alright, so the reset's not tripped. Let's see, that's not tripped there. That's not a problem. What's this thing? E for emergency, I guess. See if we got power down there to the element. I have a queer setup here. Breaker 19. Let's see if we got power to the element. It could be that control that's bad too. Hang this thing so we can see it. See if we got no power there. So we got a bad controller. We got no power to the element. And it's, as long as we got 220 coming in, we got 240 coming in, but nothing going out. So it's a bad control there. I might have one of them in the truck, but I'm not sure. That one does have a lot of extra connections on there. Got a bad control there. Some of the stuff, I got this one, but this one doesn't have these extra connections on the side here. This one's a little bit different. I don't have the right one I need, so I'm probably gonna have to run out and get it. I'll call in the model and serial and see if I can get one. Come on. So maybe we're gonna bad. I'll double check it. This lower one, which we do. We have 220 coming down to this lower element. We've got 220 there. And I got 220 there. So we probably got a bad element there. But yeah, that bottom element's bad. See how it's all burnt? That's probably our issue. So we're gonna have to find the power source on this thing and shut the power off. And drain the tank down, take that bottom element out. I bet you that's our problem. That has to heat up first, and then the top one will heat. That's our problem right there. So let me go shut the power off to this thing. It should be 220 somewhere. And, we'll drain the tank down and pull this element out. That's really going to be fun. Should be a 220 for a water heater. Hot water. That should be it. Hot water tanks. 20 wants the 110. 30 amp. That's probably it there. See the tank? It says tank. 30 amp. We'll check it. I think it's that lower element that's bad. Power's off. We'll double check it down there, make sure it's off. Double check it here, make sure that it's off. It is. So we can disconnect that, and it shouldn't have any ohms through it. We know it's a bad control, bad element. Gotta disconnect the wire. We'll see if we get any ohms through it. See the light lit up, that means the ohms. So let's see if we can get any ohms. Well, it's lighting up. I'm gonna dump it right in that pit. I've got a couple of hoses here, and I got my pump. We'll pump it down. I'm not sure who did, but it wasn't me. This is where the other one was that I worked on 4 or 5 years ago, was in this spot, so. Still water in it. Let's get the pump going. Got the water off to it. There's a special tool you need to get that thing out. Right there. Special wrench. Should be able to put the screwdriver in there and give it the how you doing. Let me get the water on and check the ohms again, but I know that element's bad down the bottom. Sometimes you can check it and it'll be open even with the water in there. But not always. Should be able to hear the pump start screaming when it's empty. Let's pull it apart and see what it looks like. Got my wrench right there. I've already loosened it. It's already loose, ready to come out. She's loose as a goose, mama. She's already loose as a goose. Alright, Molly. Alright guys, I did run out and get another element. It's a 4500 watt 220. This one's got a little bit more length to it, but it ain't gonna matter. But this thing did ohm out, but I don't know if you could see those pins. I don't know if you can see the pins. But it almost seems like the pins aren't connected properly. And the cover was, hey, quiet! Cover was all fried. I had 220 going to it, but it wasn't heating. And it's ohming out, just like the top one with the ohms. Doesn't look burnt. We're gonna try changing it. This one's kind of the same, but this almost looks like it's soldered on there better. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm thinking that this one here is the one that's the issue. This one's got solder on it. This one's kind of been blown off. We'll try it. I mean, it might be that smart control in the front, which I doubt. Sometimes you gotta MacGyver it, Mama. Sometimes you gotta MacGyver it, Molly. Oh yeah, I know it. Yeah. We'll put that back in, we'll fill it with water, and we'll see if it works. Turn the power back on. Not that, we'll go to plan B. Oh man, oh, you never know, Molly. Might be plan C on this one. There's an O-ring in the back there that seals it. And you can see this thing was all black, so that's another indication that thing's no good. And that's another indication. We'll put it back together. We'll fill it with water, and we'll turn the power on. You have to make sure you fill it with water before you turn the power on. Very important. So it had 220 going to it, but it was good enough. It wasn't working. No hot water. Then it ohms out, fine. Looks a little funky. Well, I did ohm this one out too. It was the same. This one looks a little different, the way it's made. Like I said, we gotta get water in it. And we'll try it again. It looked fried for sure. Vacuum breaker back on here. Which I have to have in my state. I don't know why they didn't put a relief valve off the back. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna make sure it's filled with water before you turn on the power. Electric. Alright, now that lower element's light's on before it wasn't on. Lower element's gotta heat up first, then the top one will kick in. Alright guys, so the bottom element's working, it was working and then it shut off, but the top one's not kicking on for some reason. So I gotta look it up and find out why. Take this panel off and see what's going on with it. Turn up that thermostat and this light should come on the upper control and it should send power to that, but it's not. So let's see if we can turn this up. It clicked in, you hear it click? It clicked. Well, let's see if we get any power to that thing. I should have power to that. The lower element just kicked in. We turned that up to 150, so we should have power there. That element. I got no power there, see it? That yellow and then the blue. That's the yellow and the blue. I just want to make sure that that's wired right. Yellow and blue, no power. I got 240 there. So let me turn the lower one down because the lower one's calling right now. I know what that one's set at. Let me lower this one down. That should shut off that power to that control and send power to the other one. Okay, we're off now. Now we should have power. Nothing going to the top element, see it? Because I got it turned up all the way to thermostat. And nothing. So we got to change that top control. I'm going to shut the power down and we'll change this top control. Alright, so we got a wiring diagram and make sure everything's right. Yeah, the yellow's there. And then the blue is the upper, which is the way it's done. And then the T4 is the black going down, so that's right. Let's see just make sure my power's off or I don't get zapped. Alright, she's off. But we got to change that control up top there. Like I said, the power's off, so. And then the red is the red. Let's make sure we get that. Yeah, red. Red is up one. Yeah. Okay. there's a switch in here that goes like this, from lower to upper, from upper to lower, and that part's not working. Alright, that's in there like that. I added this little wire on here because the other one didn't have an adapter. Alright, and then this one here should be the... This one should be the red on the top. I did check the wire and the wire was alright. That's red. And then this red. Goes in here. Like so. Alright. And this one here is the lower element. What threw me off on this is I had power going to the bottom element. So I figured that once that bottom one got satisfied, it would click over and go to the top. But that wasn't the case. And then the yellow. And, so I would say sometimes you gotta go to plan B, right? You do plan A, fix one thing, and then come to find out something else is a problem. It'll work with one bank of heaters, but really you need both working for it to work properly. You really want both banks of heaters cycling on and off as needed, right? We don't want just one. Alright, and then this is going to have a wire nut here, or a connector or something for that. And I'll probably just go like that and I'll connect it right like that. What that's going to do is that's going to feed that control. It's going to tell us what's going on, right? Alright, so we'll go turn the power back on. And we've got the red and the blue on that one. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be wired. We'll go turn the power on, and now there should be a disconnect at the heater, but there isn't. That's kind of odd. Now the top one's working. Now the top one's working. See if we got power going to that. Alright, we'll turn this one down and turn the bottom one up and see what happens there. Alright, so let's turn this one down. and then the bottom one kicked in. I turned that one down, and then the bottom one kicked in. So that's how it works. Yeah, right at both at 120, 125 or something. So them both there. I'm just gonna put the covers on now. Now they're both working. So what happens is power comes in here, and it either goes this leg or this leg. It switches. It only does one at a time. So what was happening is the bottom one was working. Well, actually, this is the top one. This is the top one. The bottom one was working, but it wasn't switching over inside this control. And we know that the bottom was fried. So let me get this back together, and then we'll be done. Alright, so what happens is power comes in on L1, L3, which is 220. Then it goes through this reset. Power comes in on L1 and L3, which is 220. It goes through this reset. And then this is just a jumper. Right? And then down below here, in this control, it goes to the upper. And then when the upper is satisfied, it'll go to the lower. There's like a switch in here that goes like this. Only one can run at a time. So you got L2, which goes to the upper. L4 is constant, the other leg of the 220. Right, so once this gets satisfied, then it switches over to T4, which is the lower control, which has a temperature sensor which feeds this probe. This probe was burnt out. Then once I replaced this probe, I thought once it heated up, it was going to switch back over, but it never did. So I had to replace this main control and the lower probe. And it's kind of odd because that lower probe ohmed out fine, but there was an issue with it, I think. You can see it was fried. So what did I do? Replace lower 4500 watt 220 heating element plus main control. There you go. Now they got hot water. Now both banks, both heaters will work, upper and lower.